Hi everyone, welcome back to day 5 on how to build a chatbot with no code. Over the past 4 days, you managed to build a simple chatbot. You learned how to collect data such as the name, the company, the email address, and the user request. This is usually the type of information you want to send to your CRM, to a Google Sheet, or software of some sort. That is exactly what we are going to learn today. For that, you have 3 options to send your data. First, via Zapier. 2, via one of our native integrations. And 3, via APIs. So let's start. Glenn, your turn.
Let's start with Zapier. The way it works is simple. Every bot is separately connected to Zapier. First, you need to open the bot you want to connect to Zapier. Then, go to Settings, General. You'll need your bot ID and your secret token. Then go to Zapier and choose Ideta. At the connect phase, use the credentials obtained in the previous step. Remember that a new account means another bot in Ideta. Before you can move on to finish your Zap, you should send your custom data to Zapier to test the connection. You can continue your Zap and send the information somewhere else, such as in a Google Sheet. I'll choose to log the first and last name of the Tanuki in my Google Sheet. Finish setting up your Zap and turn it on. Data is sent to Zapier every time your Zapier bubble is triggered. You can see the status of your connection in the settings section. In this section, you can also choose a Zap template that we made for you. Create a Zapier bubble. Run your newly created bubble in the test section, just like we did in day 1 of the course. Now, you can refresh your test data in Zapier.
I hope you found what you needed. Zapier connects to more than 3,000 apps. If you do not want to use Zapier, we have a set of native integrations coming soon. We'll update this video when they are ready. Now, Mr. Nuki wants his tribe to be able to check the weather before going outside. We are going to connect to an API that gives the weather. What's an API, you wonder? In a word, it's a way for developers to send data via a URL. We have an article in the blog that talks just about that. Check it out. Glenn will now use one API to let the Tanukis know the weather within the chatbot. Glenn, let's continue.
To make it easy for non-developers, just create an API bubble. We're going to use WeatherStack's API. You can find the documentation on their website or in the description of this video. Create a WeatherStack account and go find your private API key. It's important for the next steps. Once you find your API key, read the documentation a little bit and find the URL endpoint. So, you see, you need your access key and the requested city. Then, continue to read the documentation until you find an example of an API response. This is a JSON. It is a file format that enables humans to read the data being transmitted. It is organized with a pair of attributes associated with a value contained in an object. In this response, find the information you want, and in our case, we want to know the current temperature. Now, go back to Ideta. How you should fill the optional request header will depend on the API you want to use, so be sure to read the documentation. For this example, we will need it. Remember the endpoint URL? This is where you're going to paste the URL. We're going to create a new data key that will contain your access key. We'll do this so it's easier to change the access key later on, and you will need to change it manually on all WeatherStack API bubbles. Then, insert your data key into the URL where it's needed. You can do the same for the city's query, create a data name city, and put New York. This free version only enables you to look up the temperature in New York, so we'll go with that for now. This URL is going to send a request to WeatherStack's API, and then you need to receive the information. That's why we need the request type to be a GET. APIs usually send their response via JSON, so just indicate that the body format is a JSON. Next steps are easy, you know what to do. Create a new bubble that will show the information. And a fallback bubble in case the API call fails. It's almost done, stay with me a little bit more. Now we are going to create another data key. This time, it will be an object. Remember the API response example? Well, create a property named temperature, or whatever name you want to give it. This is where we're going to store the temperature that we will receive. Since it's a temperature, choose number for the type of data. Now, you need to understand a little bit about the structure of the data you will receive. Yanis, could you explain?
As Glenn explained, JSON are composed of a pair of attributes associated with some values. We don't need to obtain all the information given by the API, we just want the current temperature. So you have to check the JSON, find the data you are looking for, temperature, then go up and out. Temperature is contained in the current section, which is the last section. So in data structure, write current.temperature. The chatbot will search for the current section, then go down in it until it finds the temperature, then we'll put the data associated with it.
Alright, do as Yannis said and put current.temperature in the data structure. Now, go to the bubble where you tell the info to the Tanuki and insert the temperature data. You have to deploy the object and choose the temperature key. Alright, should we test it? Go to your test section and ask for the weather. Ta-da! It's working like a charm. Don't forget to handle the errors too. I'll let you take care of that on your own. If you don't remember how to do so, go back to day 1 of this course.
Congrats! Today was a hard lesson, but you managed it. Let's recap what we saw today. You connected your bot to Zapier, you had an overview of other tools you can connect to, you used an API. That's great. That was a hard part, so if you have any questions at all, contact us at 7dayscourse@ideta.io.